Welcome to Maroons Tuesday Night Live at Mac and Bob's in Salem, Virginia, with your hosts, Nick DeSanctis and Richmond Bramblett.
From Mac and Bob's Maroons Tuesday Night Live, here in our season finale in our second year. It's Tuesday, May 1st. I'm Nick DeSanctis with Richmond Bramblett. Tonight, we'll be joined by junior softball first baseman Aaliyah Bear, senior golfer Brandon Ketron, junior lacrosse player Kathleen Wager, women's lacrosse coach Mary Schwartz, track and field assistant coach Carl Blickel, junior men's lacrosse player Braden Geary, men's lacrosse assistant coach Zach Thomas, and as always, strength and conditioning coach Dave Sampson with our workhorse of the week.
And we're going to go ahead and look back over the previous weeks. First off, men's track and field. The men's track and field team finished fifth in the ODAC championships. Peter Foxen won the javelin event with a new school record throw of 194 feet 5 inches. Jed Curtis, Tucker Cunningham, Trevor Hunt, and Colton Linton finished fourth in the 4x100 relay with a time of 43.57, their fastest of the season. Tim Smith was named ODAC Farm Bureau Scholar Athlete of the Year. That is the second time he's received it this year, as he got it as well for cross country in the fall.
Taking a look now at men's lacrosse. The day after our last show, the Maroons defeated Guilford at Kerr Stadium 17-7. Reed Mayberry led the Maroons with 6 goals off 10 shots. Just behind Mayberry was Jeff Keating and Rich Lachlan with 3 goals apiece. Keating also helped out with 5 assists for a total of 9 points on the night. Over this past Saturday, the Maroons
Mayberry getting his 30th goal of the season.
13-8. Keating finished with a team-high 3-goal game, while Lachlan and Creddy each finished with 2. The Maroons will have to wait until this Sunday to find out if they will receive an at-large bid from the selection show.
And in women's lacrosse, the women's lacrosse team has gone 2-1 since our last show and is 10-6 overall. On April 21st, the Maroons traveled to Virginia Wesleyan, where they were victorious by the score of 12-8. Dara Everts and Alice Bonanno led the team with 3 goals each, while Bonanno added 3 assists for 6 total points. The next day, Roanoke Lacrosse went to Newport News and faced off against number 22 ranked Christopher Newport. In that match, only 3 Maroons found the back of the net. Kathleen Wager scored 3, Everts had 2, and Bonanno tallied 1.
The Roanoke College softball team earned their 8th ODAC championship this past weekend, defeating Bridgewater in the conference championship game on Sunday 7-2. Higby pitched the complete game win, earning her 24th victory of the season. The freshman has now tied the ODAC record for wins in the season, held originally by Lynchburg's Jen Overstreet in 2004. Leona Rainey went 2 for 3 on the afternoon, crossing the plate twice. Her 2 runs rank her 3rd in Roanoke College history for runs in a season. Rainey is 2 runs shy of moving into 7th all-time in career runs scored. She's also 2 hits away from taking over the 11th spot all-time in hits at Roanoke. Stephanie Clark finished the day 3 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Holly Wartliner went 1 for 3 on the day with 2 runs crossing the plate. Roanoke had 4 players named to the ODAC All-Tournament team. Freshman pitcher Kelly Higby was named the 2012 Most Outstanding Player, while 3 other Maroons earned All-Tournament honors from their positions. Felicia Lowry at catcher, Stephanie Clark at shortstop, and Leona Rainey in center field.
And the baseball team drove their final 2 games of the season on Senior Day on April 20th. The Maroons lost 7-2 in the first game and 12-7 in the second. Brian Kluge finished the day 4 for 8, while Chad Hill was 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs in game number 2. Senior Day also celebrated the careers of 6 seniors: Ben Amos, Jonathan Dana, Zach Folger, Matt Wallman, Jonathan Peary, and William Rubery. In other baseball news, head coach Larry Wood has retired from his position as head baseball coach here at Roanoke College. Wood took over the reins of Roanoke baseball program in 2006, the 3rd coach since the program was restored in 2002. In 7 seasons at the helm, Wood led the team to 3 15-plus win seasons, 88 total wins, and 42 wins in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. In his final season this spring, Wood guided the Maroons to 16 wins, tying the most wins in a single season, originally set in 2004.
The golf team finished 2nd in the 2012 ODAC Golf Championships at Bay Creek Golf Resort in Cape Charles, Virginia. The men shot a combined team score of 315 to give them a tournament 2-round total of 6-15 in the shortened format due to the inclement weather. Senior co-captain Brandon Ketron, who was named first team All-ODAC and ODAC's Ted Keller Sportsmanship Award winner, was named the medalist with a 2-round scorecard of 145. That's about what I shot yesterday on 18. The 4th lowest 2-round total in ODAC tournament history. Fellow senior co-captain Adam Scaff rebounded from a subpar day on Monday to tally a tournament low score of 69, 3 under par, in his final round as a Maroon. the 2012 Golf ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year, and second team All ODAC selection, placed 6th overall to earn ODAC All Tournament Team honors. Scaff's score was the lowest by any Maroon this season, and since Ketron Nguzi did it in the Scarlet Round of the United States Marine Corps Intercollegiate Open.
And finally, in women's track and field, the Roanoke College women's track and field team won the ODAC Outdoor Championship, scoring 145 total points. Lynchburg College finished in second with 114 points, and Washington and Lee finished in third with 104. Junior Carmen Graves led the Maroons with 3 first-place finishes and 2 second-place finishes. The Christiansburg native finished third in both the long jump and triple jump. She also proceeded to win the 800, the 1500, breaking the ODAC championship meet record in the 1500 with a time of 4:43. Carmen was awarded the athlete of the meet for the 4th consecutive time for her efforts. Senior Sarah Witt won the 100 hurdles in a season-best time of 14.84. Her time is currently ranked in the top 25 in the country. Witt also grabbed all ODAC honors in the 400 hurdles with a 3rd-place finish. She also was honored the ODAC Farm Bureau Scholar Athlete of the Year as the Maroons swept all the awards at the Track and Field Championships. And we'll be right back in just one moment as I sit down and interview Brandon Ketron. Stay with us.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
And we're back here with senior men's golfer Brandon Ketron. Brandon, welcome back to the show for the second time in 3 weeks.
Good to be here.
Now let's talk about your tournament at the 2012 ODAC Golf Championships at Bay Creek Golf Resort in Cape Charles. You walked away as first team All ODAC selection, All ODAC Ted Keller Sportsmanship Award, and was named the medalist. What did you think about going into this tournament from previously of how you played this season? Did you know that you were going to play so well in this tournament?
Well, I've always really enjoyed the course there and always played well there. And, coming off the win at the Camp Lejeune tournament, I kind of had a little momentum and continued it there and played well and was able to win. So it's kind of huge.
Now, on the website right now, we have a video of of you all playing in the tournament, and it seemed like the weather was out of control. Can you talk about just how you all had to play through that kind of weather?
The first day it was rainy and windy and cold, and it was just kind of about survival and just making sure you didn't make any mistakes. And then the second day it was supposed to be a little bit better, but ended up being like 30-mile-an-hour winds, which is terrible conditions for golf. But it was all right and kind of survived and just made a lot of pars.
Now, with it being towards the end of the season, you're having finals coming up and tests and everything. How did you all balance getting ready for this tournament with the end of the school year?
It's always difficult with golf because we're gone for so long, 2 or 3 tournaments. 2 or 3 days at a time. But over 4 years, you kind of learn how to handle it, so it wasn't too bad.
Now, we had heard from Adam Scaff on the website as well that you all had an interesting way of passing the time during the rain delay. Can you talk a little bit about that?
The first day we were there, the round actually got canceled, and we became good friends with all the other teams, over 4 years. And Randolph-Macon was over, and we had a little garage tennis tournament. And there's some tennis rackets laying around, and we just messed around with each other and had a good time.
Did anybody on the Roanoke team come out the winner?
I'd say Scaff probably was the winner. He was a little into it, if you could imagine the way he is.
If you all go on the website and take a look at that video, you can tell that Scaff is really into the tennis tournament that happened. Now, after this tournament coming out as the medalist from this tournament, where do you go from here? What what's next on the plate for you?
Well, there's a chance that I could get in that large bid to the NCAAs, and I think the selection show is May 7th. So just kind of sitting and waiting around on that, and hopefully I'll get in and can have one more tournament.
And where's the tournament this year?
It's Howey in the Hills, Florida. It's kind of just outside of Orlando, so be pretty nice.
Nice time to go down there and
definitely
and get that done. School has just finished up. What are your plans?
Well, I'm planning on going to law school after this, either Stetson University in Florida or University of Richmond. Still trying to make a decision, but we'll figure it out.
It sounds like you definitely have a plan after all this is over. So, well, Brandon, we appreciate you coming on the show, and we hope that we wish you the best of luck on getting in the selection show, and everything goes well for you.
All right, thanks.
We'll be back in just one moment with junior softball player Aaliyah Beer. Stay with us.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac & Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Back here with junior softball player and first baseman Aaliyah Beer. First, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Now, you're originally come from Benton Mountain, Virginia, and you're a product of Cave Spring High School. Now playing for Coach Beth Mast at Cave Spring, you racked up a lot of awards, including being all-district, all-region, all-Timesland first team, and two-time NFCA National Scholar Athlete. After racking up all those awards, what is it finally that made you decide to come here to Roanoke College?
I think for me, a lot of it was the team, the girls themselves, the chemistry we had as a team. And then I was always used to the small school atmosphere coming from Benton Mountain. I was always used to being at a small school, so that really helped. So, I mean, I loved the campus when I first walked on the campus, and honestly, it was the girls. The girls really did it for me.
Now, since you've entered Roanoke, your batting average has increased from .313 your freshman year, .338 last year, and now you're batting right at .400. Looking over the last couple of years to today, what aspects of your game have you really worked on to be able to improve your numbers?
Well, obviously hitting. That's all hitting numbers right there. A lot of it's had to do with changing my swing, altering a couple things. As it came in more as a slapper, and now I've gotten to the point where I'm mostly a power hitter now. So my strength, a lot about my strength, but a lot about, altering my swing has been a big part of it.
At what point did you really decide to go from slapper to kind of a power hitter? Is that a decision you made, or is that a decision that a coach sat down with you and said?
That was more me, honestly. Coming in, I was, as you get older, you kind of lose some of your quickness and some of your speed. So I think once I realized, I wasn't doing as well as I wanted to and not as well as I did in high school, that really, set me on the road to being a hitter.
Now, it's also to be noted that you were nominated for the ODAC Softball Scholar Athlete of the Year Award. Softball seems like it would be a sport, especially at the end of the year, through the end of the semester, that would be difficult to maintain such high academic standards as a student as well as playing. How have you been able to maintain the marks in the classroom and still play well on the field?
I think for me, it's all about balance. It's all about knowing how much you can put into your classroom and how much you can put into softball. It's about balancing your time, really using the time you have, not to mess around, not to watch TV. You have to really focus and get your studies done, and then go out on the softball field and play ball. So.
Now, we talked about it earlier in the show, but the softball team has won the ODAC championship last weekend, winning 4 contests over 3 days. As a particularly small team, the Dirty Dozen, as the team has been called, has performed well with few numbers, 9 players batting around 300 or higher. How is the team able to stay fresh, especially in a tournament setting where you have to play multiple days in a row?
Well, for us, I think that conditioning has been a big part of it this year. We've really cracked down on conditioning this year. We have a new conditioning coach. But on top of that, I think we play with a lot of heart, and we give all we got to our teammates. And I think that's a really big part of who we are as a team and a big part of why we're standing here where we are now. I think that we play through any injuries we have, and we just fight. We have a lot of fight in us.
And you're going to take that fight on to the NCAA softball tournament, which the selection show is Monday. How excited are you and your teammates for this opportunity to get to play in the NCAA tournament?
I don't really think it's set in for. I know some of us it hasn't set in for quite yet. We're still trying to comprehend the fact that we've won ODACs. But I know we're all very excited to go on to the next step. We weren't done. We weren't ready to be done yet. So.
Well, in not being done, what do the next weeks hold for the team in terms of practice and a real game plan going into the tournament?
As far as practice goes, I know we have a lot of this week off to kind of recover, get our minds right where they need to be. And then we're going to come in Friday, get a lot of conditioning done, get a lot of the stuff we need to get done out of the way. And then we're just going to practice basically all through next week. I think we're leaving actually on Tuesday to get to wherever it's going to depend on where we play. So we're going to get wherever we have to go on Tuesday, practice there all week. And as far as our game plan, I think just play like we've been playing. I mean, honestly, we've taken everybody by surprise, and I think that's a big part of who we are is we play with all of our heart and all of our soul, and that's a big part of our team.
Well, Leah, we wish you the best of luck, and hopefully the team can move on far in the tournament. Well, everybody will be watching. This Monday, the selection show will be on. Check out ncaa.com, or if you can't catch it, check out maroons.roanoke.edu, and we'll have all that information for you. We'll be back in just one moment with women's lacrosse player Kathleen Wager. Stay with us.
For information or schedules on Valley Vision TV programs, visit us on the internet at valleyvisiontv.com. Remember, you're watching the Valley's only true local network, Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
And we're back with junior women's lacrosse player Kathleen Wager. First, Kathleen, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Now, you've had an exceptional season as a junior midfielder in the women's lacrosse team. You're second in scoring with 72 points and in goals with 48. What's been different with your approach on the offensive end this season?
I think it has to do with more, since I'm a junior, I have to step up to the plate, and, it really, helps when you, build confidence. And seeing Gina leave and seeing Megan, all those other seniors leave, someone's got to step up. So
Sure. Now, you all are heading to Lynchburg tomorrow for the ODAC semifinals against Lynchburg College. As the number 2 seed, you received a first-round bye. With a tough stretch to the end of the season and with finals, did the break help the team really settle?
I think mentally it was nice just because it's so much pressure, but we're just today in practice we were a little giddy and we were a little off, but I think once it comes down to it, to our game, we're gonna really step up.
Shaking nerves in practice today.
Yeah.
Now you're a product of Rockbridge County, with women's lacrosse is still in its growing stage throughout Southwest Virginia. You've thrived as you've moved up from the ranks from high school to college. How did you get into the sport, and what did you have to do to get noticed by college coaches?
Actually, I got started with my sister. Her friends were there, so I did that. But I made it into the national team, which is the second team in the nation, and I got Bob Rotans to help me with my my video for school. So, but I was destined with Mary.
Now, on March 20th, you were named ODAC Player of the Week, the first time in your career to earn this weekly award. You're also heading to your second all-conference plaque selection after such a stellar season. With being a biochemistry major, how are you able to manage your time with such a heavy academic workload in the spring as well as playing lacrosse?
Definitely, I want to thank my professors. They've been so nice, and they've been willing to work with me. I've been having to miss labs, and they've been just make it up on your own term. We understand totally. So it's great to have such a small school and such easy professors.
Now, you were talking about practice today. What are you all really working on leading up into this game against Lynchburg tomorrow?
Well, we're really working on dominating and getting in the goalie's head. I think she's kind of like a mind person, so getting her head will really work, and just really knocking out those two top players that they have. So we can.
Well, good. Well, Kathleen, good luck tomorrow against Lynchburg. We'll be there tomorrow providing play-by-play. So everybody can get online and watch at maroons.roanoke.edu/showcase. Basically where you're watching the show here, you can watch the women's lacrosse game tomorrow. Again, Kathleen, thank you for joining us. Nick will be back in just one moment with women's lacrosse head coach Mary Schwartz. Stay with us.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
For information or schedules on Valley Vision TV programs, visit us on the internet at valleyvisiontv.com. Remember, you're watching the Valley's only true local network, Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7.
Welcome back to Mac and Bob's. I'm joined now by women's lacrosse head coach Mary Schwartz. Coach, with exams going from last Wednesday up until today, some of us even had exams till 5 o'clock this afternoon, how tough has that been for you to work around with this big game coming up tomorrow?
Well, it's been tough, but it's also been kind of a blessing when we got the, at-large second seed. And they did it through lots, and I think that really helped us because I was trying to get practices together to get everybody out there, and we ended up doing it the shift in between the first exam and second exam. And the first day everybody was excited, everybody was out there. The second day I think I had 8 people, and they're just like it's hard. And when they come out there, they're mentally just drained. And so we kind of got through this week, and I said Sunday, everyone's got to be there, and we really got to work hard. And so Sunday, Monday, today, we've had some good practices, but today you could see how tired they were. We had kids. I think we had 4 kids that had exams the last exam slot. So some still have papers due, but it's challenging.
Now, with the ODAC tournament contest coming up against Lynchburg tomorrow, a massive game for you and your team. What are you and your coaching staff doing to prepare to take on Lynchburg?
Well, Saturday was able to go do a live scout, which was really good because we gave them the day off. And we just started to prepare for what we've seen. We've been studying film. Gina, sits in the film room, and she loves to break down film and, tendencies of what the players do. We know the play. I think they're as prepared as they can be. Now we just got to wait and see what Lynchburg throws at us and to see if we can make the adjustments we need to make. I mean, I really feel ready. I feel ready. I don't know about the team, but I'm ready to go.
Your team in a 6-game win streak before falling to nationally ranked CNU in the regular season finale back on the road on April 22nd. What do you think sparked the success that your team had all of April, and what can you do to recapture it?
Well, I think we always start off with a hard schedule. In March we're playing more of the ranked teams. We're playing the out-of-conference games, and I think that really prepares the girls so that when they get into the conference play, they've seen the best of the best. And they just go in there and they take it one game at a time. And, we always seem to have a great run in April. I don't know what it is about April, but it's just a good deal. And it seems like we end with CNU, and it's like when they come here, we beat them. We go over there, they beat us. Honestly, we played that game. There's probably 3 inches of water on their turf. I felt like it was a hurricane rain, and there was 25-mile-an-hour gusty winds, and there was puddles that were you couldn't even see the ball. But I think the kids are ready. I think it is hard having 10 days off. But they're hungry. They're ready to get back out there.
win tomorrow in the semifinals, your team would advance to the program's 4th conference championship in the past 5 years. In the tournament, you've had some tough battles with Lynchburg. In 06, your second season, the Maroons defeated the Hornets in overtime and then fell by 1 goal in 2010. And last spring, you knocked off Lynchburg by 6 goals in the semis. Do you consider this a rivalry by any means?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they took the first game, and I remember the kids were walking off the field in regular season. I said, I'd rather lose to them now than when it counts. And it is. I mean, there's just not a lot of love between the teams. And, I talked to Coach Reed the other day, and we were just kind of, we have a good relationship. And I was like, well, I hope we give you a game tonight, Bruce. And he just starts laughing in the background. But, I mean, it is. The girls really go out there and they play hard against each other. I don't think they like each other too much.
I'm not sure if it was last show or the show before, but we had one of your players come up and say she wasn't really a fan of Washington and Lee. Do you consider Lynchburg the program's top rival?
They're both rivals. I think Lynchburg is more of a team that we really dislike. W&L, it's just a rival. It's just you go out there and you play hard and you want to beat them, but there's just something about Lynchburg. And they told me that when I first got here, and I didn't believe them. And the first time we played them, I walked off that field and I was like, I can see the hate.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Coach, thanks so much.
Okay,
Best of luck
thank you.
tomorrow night. I'll be right back with assistant track and field coach Carl Blickel.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
Welcome back to Tuesday Night Live. I'm joined now by Carl Blickel. Carl, welcome back. The women's track and field team won both the indoor and outdoor ODAC championships this year, making it the 7th time in the program's history to do so. Who have been some of the major players on this year's team to help keep you guys at the top of the conference again?
Well, I think overall we had a well-rounded team, and we had a lot of contributors, both through distance, through sprints and hurdles, and through throws, and also jumps. But specifically, Carmen Graves really led us along the way. She was all-conference in 4 different events, including relays, and to place first in a 8:15 double, 800 and 1,500 meter double is something that sets her apart from the rest of the ODAC and most college competitors. So that was very, very impressive. Also, Sarah Witt led us. She's one of our seniors. She placed first in the hurdles and also was on the 4x4 team and placed third in the 400 hurdles. Also contributing big time was the throws. They went 1, 2, 3 in the hammer, and Liz Bransky, one of our senior captains, was first in the shot put. So all around, I think we had a very good performances. Short sprints, they did well too. Hope Flomo and Esther Premfe, high school teammates, they really showed up. And then Brittany Cornett and Megan Tolley, 2 of our seniors in the hurdles and the jumps, also really showed up that day as well.
We had a sweep in the awards following the meet with both Tim Smith and, as you just mentioned, Sarah Witt, both earning Farm Bureau Stellar 1 ODAC Scholar Athlete Awards. Can you tell us about their leadership for your teams, both on and off the field, or in this case, the track?
Well, obviously, they're smart individuals if they're winning that award. But one thing I think that separates them from a lot of other people that were nominated for that award is their work ethic in the classroom and on the track. And I think a lot of what they do and the effort they give on the track and in the classroom really shows the other people on our team, how to give effort and give 100%. And that really carries through from the top person on the team all the way down to the bottom. And they really have led us really, really great this year. I'm proud of both of them.
Carmen Graves, who was named Athlete of the Meet at the ODAC Championships, is moving on to the Division III Championships in California, upcoming in a few weeks. She has one of the fastest times in the country and look to improve that in the upcoming meets prior to Nationals. What have you seen in her this year that's different from last season, your first year at Roanoke?
Well, last year when I first met Carmen, one of the first things she told me is, I really want to try the 800 meters. She had a meniscus tear in soccer, And she was a little concerned with getting back into the triple jump, which she was a national qualifier in her freshman year. So I said, sure, let's give the 800 a try. In her first year, it took her some time, but she started at 227. The first meet she ran it, and by the end of the outdoor season, she ran 210, which is an automatic qualifier, and she was top 3 in the nation with her time by the end of the year. So last year was really just learning the event, getting to the national level. That was the ultimate achievement for her last year. And this year, the difference is that she's really become a student of the event. She's learned how to run it. She's learned how to race it. She's more competitive. She doesn't just want to get to the national level. She wants to win nationals now. So I think that's the biggest difference right now is the confidence level, her ability to run the event. She's running a little faster, and just her overall competitiveness in that event. She's now, one of the top runners in the country.
With this school year coming to a close, there's always optimism coming up to the following season with cross country starting up in the fall. Can you tell us who you have your eye on that could really make an impact for your squad in the fall?
Oh, well, we have definitely some good returners that are coming back. Tim is going to come back for a 5th year. He's going to get a minor, so he's going to be someone who's going to be an obviously instant impact, being a national qualifier, winning the ODAC, and he just barely missed All-American by about 3 spots. So I think he's someone, he'll put the mileage of the summer, and he'll come in and he'll repeat that and hopefully get that All-American status I know he's trying to achieve. And his work ethic will rub off on a lot of the other guys that are coming back. And I think a lot of the sophomores, juniors, and freshmen that were on the team this year, they're going to be now in the mix at the ODAC level. And we have some pretty decent recruits coming in as well that are going to be in the mix. And then on the women's side, we have a very, very young team. I think the oldest person on the team last year was a junior. And this year, I think everybody's returning for the most part, and then we have some freshmen that are coming in that will be instant impacts as well.
Now, I can't let you go. Being outside of Philadelphia, the Phillies are off to kind of a slow start, and the Devils just tied the game at 1. What's the state of Philadelphia sports right now in your mind?
Well, the last time I was on the show, I don't think it was too good of a state. It was the end of the Eagles season.
Oh, yeah, it's a pretty bad state.
Yeah, and I think the Phillies weren't doing too hot then as well. So I think, with beating the Penguins for the Flyers, that was obviously huge, and I'm sure you, being a high-level hockey fan, really, really enjoyed that.
A little bit.
And, the length of the baseball season, I don't know how many people are really paying attention to that. Obviously, we're still selling out every game, but I'm fully confident that they're going to come back and make a very good run at not only the top of the division, but hopefully get to that World Series again. So,
Carl, thanks so much for joining us. We
thanks,
appreciate
Nick.
it. I'll be right back with men's lacrosse junior Braden Geary.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Welcome back to the show. I'm joined now by men's lacrosse junior defenseman / long stick midi Braden Geary. Braden, how would you actually classify your position right now?
Right now, I'd be a long stick midi for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Now you originally came down from Canada, went to high school at Western Reserve Academy, and then ended up here at Roanoke College. What originally brought you down here to Southwest Virginia?
I think the two schools are very much the same in that they're both small, great campuses. One of the things that was really attractive was location. I mean, the mountains around here are just awesome, and obviously the lacrosse program speaks for itself. In addition to that, as far as academics go, I was very interested in the HHP department, and that's been really great so far. So,
you entered Roanoke coming in for Coach Pilot as a short stick, and have since made the move over to long stick to start last season. What kind of provoked that move, and how long did it take you to really get comfortable?
Growing up in Canada, I actually started off as a long stick in field lacrosse, but with playing box lacrosse in the summers, short stick is definitely something that I get to play with all summer, and then when I come back to school, it's not that big of a transition just because I grew up playing long stick. So.
You started off last season, played in the first 3 games, then went down with a knee injury. We didn't see you again until the start of this season. How tough was that for you to have to stay on the sideline and watch your team make that run to the Final Four?
It actually happened to me sophomore year of boarding school as well. So it's the second time in kind of my career that's happened. It's terrible. I hate it. It was just itching to play the whole time on that NCAA run. But now that I'm back, I mean, it's just a great feeling to be back on the field again.
Since you've made the move back to long stick this season, we've seen you run a little bit of long stick midfield, put 6 goals on the board. Was that something you've ever done before, running with a long stick?
I think in my whole career as a long stick, I probably only had 2 goals, and having 6 this season was just really great. Scoring with a long pole is kind of funny because, half the time you don't know where the ball's going, so you can't really trust the goalie to know where it's going, and that kind of works to my advantage for sure.
Now this season we've seen your head coach, Coach Pilot, use Mike Hardin and Charlie Peace in goal. When you're playing defense, is there any kind of a different setup or strategy that you have to use? What differences are there between the 2 goalies for you out on the field?
Mike and Chuck are pretty similar in styles and stuff. They're both very vocal. They both talk to the players quite a bit, and the defensive unit just, we love those guys to death. They are crazy for wanting us to stand in front of Jeff Keating's shot, but I think Hardon probably talks a little more, and Chuck comes out of the net a little more. And I think we saw it a couple games where he would just go for a run, and the defense we get a little nervous because he's out there out of his crease, but he always holds it down, and both guys are tremendous. So
I guess you don't want to step in and play goalie for him.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, what's it like for your team after falling to Washington and Lee in a tough game over the weekend? What's it like to have to sit and wait for the selection show on Sunday?
It's a lot like waiting on the sidelines like I did last year. It's just not a good place you want to be. The guys are really disappointed, but there is that glimmer of hope that we could get a bid, and obviously that's very exciting. So,
how is it for you with final exams over the past week, and then still having to practice, still having to go to a game, but still having finals and papers and everything due?
I think you just got to take that in stride, and that's something that student athletes we kind of signed up for from the beginning. With final exams, I finished mine at 5 o'clock today, and I'm so relieved. But for sure, lacrosse is just kind of a stress reliever even. Like, it's something you look forward to all day after studying, to kind of get out in the field, run around, and have some fun. So.
Now, last season, before your injury, I saw you out on the ice rink quite a bit, playing for the club ice hockey team. Coming from Canada, I think it's almost expected at this point. Do you have a preference to lacrosse or ice hockey?
I don't. I would say lacrosse probably takes it, probably because I'm better at it. And the size definitely doesn't mean as much in lacrosse as it does for hockey for me. But being a defenseman, I love both sports. Lacrosse, I just get to run around a little more. And
we saw your stick skills on display last game, going in between the 3 or 4 generals. That was definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Brad, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
I'll be right back with men's lacrosse assistant coach Zach Thomas.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
For information or schedules on Valley Vision TV programs, visit us on the internet at valleyvisiontv.com. Remember, you're watching the Valley's only true local network, Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7.
Welcome back to Mac and Bob's. Nick DeSantis along now with Zach Thomas. Zach, back in 2009, you were a player on the team that was favored to win the ODAC championship, but fell to Washington and Lee in overtime. You guys had to wait for the selection show that Sunday to see who you were going to face and if you were going to get a home game out of it. What's it like for you this time around on the coaching side of things, and what insight do you give your guys moving forward waiting for that Sunday night?
It's definitely tough when you leave it up to the committee to decide. It's never really a good thing. This year, it's kind of different. Our in-region wins and losses are not where they were in 2009. so we're not as sure that we're going to get in. But, you just got to stay positive and hope for the best on Sunday.
Now, Saturday's loss to Washington Lee, obviously a very tough one to swallow. Talking to Coach Pilot after the game, wasn't very happy with the way things transpired. What can you take away from a tough loss like that in the conference tournament?
I think our guys we had a good game plan in place, and we just couldn't can our shots. We outshot them. We actually won every statistical aspect of the game. But their goalie had 20 saves. He was a freshman, played great, and we just couldn't get it done. So it's a tough one to swallow, but just got to move on.
Now, the talk amongst the athletic department lately has been finals, with student athletes obviously still have to show up to your finals, still have papers and lab reports, and everything has to get done. What was it like for you and your coaching staff to still have to go into that game on Saturday, maybe not being able to have the practice schedule that you wanted?
Right. Finals are always tough, but everyone has to deal with it in the league, so can't make excuses. But I think some of our guys probably didn't use their time as well as they should have, maybe pulling some all-nighters, cramming, and that'll catch up to you. So it's a tough thing, but everyone has to deal with it, so we don't like to make excuses.
Now, the all ODAC conference selections will be announced, I believe, to the public on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of have a little bit of an inside track on that. Could you tell us a little bit about what you know in regards to the first team selections?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jeff Keating's going to show up on that first team.
Not a surprise.
Yeah, he's been a great player all 4 years, so I think he's very deserving of that. Braden, who's just on, I think he has a really good chance of making that first team. With his ground balls and just his tenacity, I think he really deserves it. And then I think Mike Hayden, he's probably one of our better midfielders, so he should get a good look. And Eric DeLong on defense, he should get a good look at that first team as well.
Who do you think, being a coach, you get to see these guys play every day, who do you think is someone that the league isn't recognizing that they probably should?
That's a tough question, Nick.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
That's all right. I would say Mike Hardon. I think he had a really good season. His save percentage was second in the ODAC, only to Frank Cook from Lynchburg. And I think he had a great year, so I'd like to see him make something, but we're not really sure how that goes. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Zach, thanks so much. We
Thank
appreciate
you,
your time.
Absolutely.
Richard will be right back with Dave Sampson for the Workhorse of the Week.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Game.
And we're back, as always, with Dave Sampson for this edition of Workhorse of the Week.
Hey, Braden.
There's a lot of sports to get through. You want to go ahead and get started?
Lead us off, Richmond. Understand there's no graphics tonight. I don't know where that ball was dropped, but those things happen. You're a professional. I'm a professional. We're going to muddle through it.
At least I have my notes for this interview. So,
Whoa. What does that mean?
Men's lacrosse. We'll start with that.
Okay, that's fine. One nominee, West Pancoast, freshman. He's done a great job for us the last half of the year, stepped into a starting role with us. Really happy for him. He's done a great job. He had an overall pretty good performance last game against Washington Lee and the game before that against Guilford. So with the one nominee, I guess heck, even you could figure out who's going to win this one, couldn't you, Richmond? Attaboy.
Again, I have my notes this time. I'm going to say it's West Pancoast.
That's the second reference you've made to me not having any notes in front of me.
It's me not having notes for other things.
Don't try to make up.
As always, you can get your Workhorse of the Week shirt.
That's right. West Pancoast Workhorse of the Week. There was, I'm going to say this up front. My printer, I won't mention her name, printed the old logo on the T-shirt, which is now no longer acceptable. The T-shirts are being rushed and should be in tomorrow for the workhorse. So, Payne Coast, come by, get your shirt. We'll go from there.
All right, let's move on to women's lacrosse.
Women's lacrosse. One nominee there. I don't need my notes. I know who the nominee is. Liz Harchie out of Maryland has done a great job all year in the last game against Christopher Newport. Harchie picked up, I think, 8 ground balls, which is indicative of a workhorse, a blue-collar type of effort on the field. So
Absolutely.
Harch gets the award. Congratulations, Liz. And also good luck tomorrow down at the Bag. They played Lynchburg College in the ODAC tournament, so good luck for them.
7 o'clock that game on maroons.roanoke.edu/showcase right here where you're watching Tuesday Night Live. Let's move on to golf. We have 2 nominees this time.
2 nominees. Golf's a new nominee for us this time. I happened to saw the coach this morning, chit-chatted with him for a while. My 2 nominees, why don't you lead it off for us, Richmond?
We will go ahead with our previous guest of this evening, Brandon Ketron.
Brandon has done a great job. I think he's on the bubble right now for the NCAA tournament. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, received the ODAC Sportsmanship Award this year.
I did know that.
I did too. That's why I said it. So congratulations on that. A lot of praise there. And our second nominee,
who's also actually here tonight, Adam Scaff.
Yeah, Scaff. All right. How's your sister doing? Is she staying out of trouble? Of course she is. Adam Scaff is up there, and a little side note for him. All academic ODAC team. Congratulations, Adam. Good work. Good, tremendous effort on the field and in the classroom. We call that Division III scholar athletes.
Absolutely. And a lot of awards all around for the 2 of them.
Oh, yeah. They fill the pages with awards. So my nominees for golf, I'm going to give the nod to Adam. Adam has done a great job in here at Roanoke for us, and I appreciate all the work he's done, so I think he's very deserving of the award this week.
Adam Scaff over in the corner giving his signature fist pump.
Yeah,
so.
See Brad for your coupon to Mac and Bob's. $50, I think it is.
There you go. It's an extra bonus from Brad Moore. Let's go ahead with track and field.
Track and field, 2 nominees, 1 man, 1 male, 1 female.
That's right.
Richmond.
We'll go ahead with big thrower Peter Foxen.
Peter Foxen. Why is he on there?
I believe he broke a school record for javelin.
For the javelin. He's done a great job. I think he placed second in the last meet, and he works. I see him in the weight room every daggone day. He stays late every day at practice. So, Peter, congrats. You're my winner this week.
And
a repeat nominee for the females, Liz Bransky. Also a thrower, has done a phenomenal job all year long and even last year. So, Liz, keep up the good work. I know that we still have some things in the works as far as qualifying for nationals. I don't know if these 2 are in there, but they've certainly gone over and above the call of duty with their work ethic all year long.
Congratulations to both Peter and Liz. Once again, see Sampson for your T-shirt. And moving on to our final 2, we'll start with baseball and a very special meet of the week for this one.
Yeah, it's kind of a bittersweet award. We got 1 nominee. It's Coach Larry Wood. For those of you unaware, Coach is retiring. He's done a phenomenal job moving the program up to where it is today. They were not long ago cellar dwellers. And Coach Wood has done a great job. I think he's had the largest roster number he's ever had this past year,
Absolutely.
Which is a huge tribute to him and his work ethic and his coaching staff. So, Coach, you're going to be missed around here, and I'm truly sorry to see you go. I like seeing you every day. He's one of the first coaches in every day and one of the last to leave. So that in itself is indicative of being a workhorse. So, Coach, congratulations. I know you're probably at home watching the show with bated breath, so you want to stop by sometime this week. We'll have a shirt for you.
I got to spend a little time with him and the team down at the beach for spring break and class act.
He is. He's class from head to toe.
All right, now we've got another one, the final one, softball.
Softball, I had the pleasure of working on the mic with them in their game Saturday against Eastern Mennonite, where the girls absolutely dug their heels in and battled back from a tie ball game to win in extra innings. So I'm nominating the whole team. I talked to KK and Felicia today. it came to my attention that they're kind of, I don't know, under the radar nickname is the Dirty Dozen because there's only 12 of them.
Sure.
So the fact that they've accomplished what they've accomplished this year with only 12 girls just speaks volumes for their work ethic. So that said, and coming back and posting an ODAC championship this past weekend and just absolutely blasting the War Eagles from Bridgewater College, they did a great job. Bridgewater was never in danger of winning the game. Never. We jumped on them early and kept pouring it on. Every time they scored, we answered right back. So the Dirty Dozen, T-shirts for each and every one of you. I know you guys are very anxious to see the results of this weekend's tournament. For the other conference champions and the announcing of the brackets and where you guys are going to be. I think it comes online Monday, the NCAA show.
It's a benefit to you for it being a small team, not as many shirts that you have to give out.
I don't mind giving out more shirts. The more the merrier, but you got to earn them.
Absolutely.
It's not a right. It's a privilege.
Now, if someone were not to earn it, would you call them out?
Like if they're not doing the job, you have to call them out for that. You got to set your sights high. Let's I'm going to go off the subject. I wanted to end up with women's for the softball team for a reason. How are we on time? We're good to go. All right. I was doing the announcing and doing the scoreboard for the women in Saturday's game against Eastern Mennonite, and awesome game. Love both teams. Tremendous competitors. But I was a little disgruntled with the umpiring. And you and I talked about this off camera earlier. This is NCAA. And this is the ODAC tournament. It doesn't get any bigger than that, right? Well, it does, but maybe UCLA and Southern Cal, but still around here it doesn't get any bigger than that. Great venue. The guys at Salem Parks and Rec and Moyer Complex put on a phenomenal show for the girls from all over the ODAC. But I'll be honest with you, I'm disappointed with the umpiring. And when I say disappointing, I don't mean the calls. I mean, it's almost like they were afraid to be vocal. And that's what you and I talked about off camera, sitting behind them, and I'm waiting on the umpire to tell me whether it's a ball or a strike, and it seems like I waited forever. And the only signal I got was if it was a strike, there'd be sometimes a 2, 3, 4 second delay, and I saw a little fist like that. I'm disappointed. I mean, how does that guy expect to make it to the bigs, the D1, and maybe even the majors? It's soft. I don't like it. Like when I'm sitting up there, I want to know right off the bat when that ball pops the catcher's mitt. I want to know ball or strike. If I don't hear anything, I know it's a ball. And I look down there when I see the pitch and that catcher's mitt pops and it looks like a good pitch. I want to see the umpire just turn and go, "Ha!" like that. I want him yelling. I want to hear it. Is that too much to ask? Right. There shouldn't be any shadow of a doubt as to whether that was a ball or strike. And you don't have to be quite that as flamboyant, on a swing or something like that. I'm talking about called strikes. That's fine. You swing and it's an obvious strike. I don't care you do that. That's fine. Everybody knows it's a strike. You swung, and the catcher has the ball. Simple deductive reasoning dictates it was a strike. Now, last thing I want to touch on with them. Let's talk a little about the called third strike, which is huge in any level of baseball at the professional level. I mean, those umpires are taught. They go to school to put on a show. And these guys, I think I saw Saturday maybe 3 or 4, no, not even that many, 1 or 2 called third strikes. And the guy did the same thing. He did the same exact thing. All I saw was this. Yeah, how was that supposed to rev you up? I got 2 things.
Okay.
First, you got to deal. If there's a right-handed batter, I'm going to make the turn and I'm going to punch him out, right? I'm going to do the lawnmower, the chainsaw turn, hey, ha! Like that, right?
Figuratively punch them out.
Figuratively. And if I got a left-handed batter, I want to go the other way because I don't want to get in the way. So instead of doing the chainsaw, I'm punching, right? I turn this way, ha! It's like that, right?
Exactly.
That's what it's about. That's the only problem I have with the ODAC tournament. I didn't think the umpires made it a showplace with respect to their end of the deal.
Well, again, congratulations to the women's softball team for winning the ODAC tournament. Again, that selection show will be on Monday. Sampson, workhorse of the week.
Always a pleasure.
Always a surprise.
Why not?
We'll be back in just one moment as Nick and I wrap things up here on Tuesday Night Live. We'll be back.
Mac and Bob's opened for business in 1980. Over the years, we've grown from 10 stools to a full-service restaurant that seats 330 people. Now we invite you to come try our new breakfast menu, featuring sweet potato pancakes, eggs Benedict, omelets made to order, stuffed French toast, homemade sausage and gravy biscuits, and much more. Open for breakfast Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m., Sunday brunch 10 a.m. till 2. See you for breakfast at Mac and Bob's in Salem.
Welcome back to Mac and Bob's. Looking ahead, the men's lacrosse team must now wait for the NCAA selection show to see if they will receive an at-large bid to the big dance in the tournament. The selection show will be viewed at All Sports on Sunday night, May 6th at 10 p.m. Come down and check it out with the team.
Absolutely. Women's lacrosse team, number 2 seed in the ODAC, will face off against Lynchburg tomorrow, May 2nd, in the semifinals of the ODAC tournament. Championship game will be held this weekend should the Maroons advance past the Hornets, and at least I will be there tomorrow night providing play-by-play for that. So again, check it out here, maroons.roanoke.edu/showcase. You know what? Don't even take this page down. Leave it up all day.
There you go. Just hit refresh.
Refresh it tomorrow. It'll be there. We'll be here.
We promise. After winning the 2012 ODAC championship, the Maroons earned an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament on the softball field. The selection show to find out where the Maroons will play their regional matchups is Monday, May 7th at 10 a.m. Be sure to check ncaa.com or maroons.roanoke.edu shortly thereafter to find out where Roanoke will be headed.
Absolutely.
For TCNJ.
And last, we've got golf and track and field. The golf pre-selection show will take place on May 3rd. So obviously, check back with us, maroons.roanoke.edu.
Just leave the page up.
Again, leave the page up. Never have to leave. Find out if our players made it into the NCAA tournament. And for track and field, men's and women's track and fields, some of the runners are ranked within the region and are looking to compete in the NCAA Division III championships in Los Angeles on May 24th and 26th. Nick, this is the last show of Tuesday Night Live of your career.
It is the second year of Tuesday Night Live in the books. My career of hosting Tuesday Night Live in the books. Started off with such humble beginnings with Mike Smith coming up, helping us out with graphics once we just got rolling. Jeff Kissel came in. He worked as my co-host for a year. That was great. Reed Hall came in as technical director. Got Chris Herron step in and help out. We got Richmond Ramblet this year. That works out pretty well.
How many shows are we on right now?
So it's well over 30, close to 40.
Close to 40 shows now?
43-ish.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Started small. It's since grown. Thanks to guys like David Mulford, Steve Mason, Bob Rotans, especially Alan Johnston really helping to make this all possible.
Yeah.
So it's been a great experience. Scott Allison and Brad Moore liked the idea when I approached them with it. We've watched it take off and grow. It's just gotten bigger and bigger. One of these days it'll pop, but until then I'd like to see it keep growing, especially back in the fall, and see how long we make it go. We've made it 2 years so far. People have believed in it, and this has worked out pretty well.
Well, hopefully, when you make it big in the big leagues, as you're doing play-by-play for the Flyers,
who are losing right now,
who are losing 3-1. Yeah, so I'm not going to rub it in on the final night, but you can come back as a guest on the show and obviously talk about what little show it was to what big show it has become by that point.
One camera, small TriCaster, me and Mike Smith trading spots, just so we could have somebody on camera and somebody behind the scenes. It's been great. Thanks so much to my parents for watching every show. My good friends who have made it down here to watch the show, watch it on TV. I got a bunch of them here now. But again, thanks so much to the athletic director, Scott Allison, sports information director, Brad Moore, intern, Sarah Cottle, technical director, TJ Kemper, multimedia director, Reed Hall. For Richmond Bramblett, I'm Nick DeSanctis. Good night from Salem.